Hey guys, this side Anirudh. I'll be your trainer today. So we have few sessions that we already gone through for BGP. So welcome to the next session. Let's go on.
Fine guys, is there any problem now? In same manner, even you can also perform load balancing for eBGP neighbors as well. Like right now this BT is receiving these prefixes coming from R5 as well as R6. All attributes up to ICP course to reach next hop are same. You see, show IP BGP 100.1.0. Check it out. Apart from this one, it's coming from 21545. Yeah, this one is not it. So now if I say router BGP 355.0.0, maximum path is what? For eBGP neighbors you can use simple maximum path 2. You are not required to add keyword maximum paths eBGP and then 2. So maximum paths 2 will work for eBGP neighbors only. If you are having IBGP neighbors, then you have to add keyword IBGP. Show IP BGP once again 100.1.0 C multipath via R5 and R6 have installed, not via sprint. See, the entry which is via sprint, it have not mentioned multipath keyword over there, has it? So that is why it means that it have not installed that path into its routing table. So now show IP route BGP, check it out. It's not it. So in this way you can achieve load balancing, I mean to say equal cost load balancing in BGP. Fine. Have a TOTI authentication in BGP? Fine. After it, let's go for aggregation, route summarization in BGP. Fine. So to understand aggregation, I mean, like, do one thing. Let's move back again on our one. Interface loop back 1, shut it down. 2, 3, 4, 5. So it is receiving these 4 prefixes individually coming from R5 and R6. Now let's say R5 and R6 are receiving all these prefixes coming from BT as well as Sprint individually. Are you getting my point or not? And let's also do one more thing here. Move on R5 and router BGP 65500 neighbor. Shut it down. I mean, I'm just I have shut down the link 1, right? So right now link 2 and link 3 are in use only. So move back again on R5. So it is receiving prefixes coming from R6, because this time R6 is having lower router ID. Let's move back again on R6 and let's configure its router ID. I mean, let's remove its router ID from here, so it will pick its default router ID, so that you will see once again for R1 its best path will be defined via R5. So R5 and R6 are receiving these prefixes coming from BT, and then R5 and R6 are giving those prefixes further to R1. right? Now R1 do not have that much capability or that much good hardware configuration so that it can install a huge number of prefixes in its BGP table as well as routing table. But yeah, R5 and R6 are having very good configuration because these two routers are customer edge routers. So R5 and R6, they have very good hardware configuration, but let's assume that R1 do not have that much good hardware configuration. Fine. So R5 and R6 are having a huge number of prefixes available inside their BGP table and also are advertising all those prefixes in the direction of R1. But R1 is not much capable to have to store all those prefixes in its BGP table as well as routing table. So how can we solve this problem now? Of course, summarization. Because if you do not summarize prefixes here, then R1, I mean the performance of R1 will be very slow, or it will be slowed down. Right? Now you have some options over here. You can perform summarization at the end of New York router, but let's say that you do not have the console of New York router. You can also configure summarization at the end of BT as well, but let's assume that you do not have the console of BT as well. You are having console of your own network only, right? So how will you solve this problem? You can perform aggregation on R5 as well as on R6 in this way. Let me show you on R5 and R6. Right now it is receiving these prefixes coming from BT. So what will be aggregate address for all these things? So aggregate address 192.168.100.0, subnet mask will be 252.0. In same manner on R6, aggregate address 192.168.100.0, and then of course this is your aggregate address actually, right? Now after configuring this aggregate address command here on R5C, it will keep this aggregate address in its BGP table automatically, see, and it will install it towards null zero interface as well. Do you remember that all routing protocols put summary address towards null in their local routing table? So R5 have installed this summary address aggregate address in its BGP table. In same manner R6 will also install this aggregate address in its local BGP table, and then we'll start to advertise it towards all other devices here. Like if you move back again on R1, so you must receive that aggregate address over here from both of them. So you are receiving this aggregate address coming from R5 as well as R6, but prefixes are also coming individually. So remember, by default BGP will not suppress your prefixes in its aggregate address. BGP will not suppress automatically individual prefixes in its aggregate address. To achieve that, you have to move back again on R5, and you see, if I open this aggregate address, received from RR client, yeah, that's fine, and see what is happening over here. Aggregated by this R6, aggregated by R5, and atomic aggregate and atomic aggregate. These attributes are there. Aggregator and atomic aggregate. These two attributes were there. Do you remember? Yeah. Aggregator and atomic aggregate. Right? You do one thing. Move back again on R5 and router BGP 65500 along with this aggregate address, say summary only, so that it will start to suppress all other prefixes which are coming in this summary address, in this aggregate address. So it will suppress all individual prefixes. In same manner, I will move on R6. Summary only. Miss note it. Check it out. Summary only. Now also you can open its BGP table. See, atomic aggregate and aggregated by R6. Use. Just wait. But this time you can see that attributes have not been copied from individual prefixes individual prefixes into summary address. Attributes were not copied back. Hello. Attributes were not copied from individual prefixes into summary address, and due to that, what is happening now? See, you try to understand now. It have not copied AS path attribute from individual prefixes into summary address. That is why the summary address is also going back towards BT now. Check it out. Is not it? And BT have given the summary address back to New York router. However, these individual prefixes were generated by New York router itself, and this New York router have received this summary address back. It can cause a routing loop. It can cause a routing loop, and it is happening because at the time of aggregation, attributes were not copied from individual prefixes into summary address, into your aggregate address. But if you want to achieve that, then you do one thing. Along with summary only, you can also say AS set. Move on R6 as well and configure same command. After summary only, you can also say, once you will configure this AS set keyword, then it will copy all attributes from individual prefixes into summary address as well. So this time, whenever this summary address will go back towards BT, BT will find it's on AS. So will it be possible for BT to receive that prefix this time? That summary address, is it having that summary prefix now? Will this BT advertise that summary prefix in the direction of New York router now? So of course there will not be any. Still it is having. Just wait, it will be removed. See, it has been removed now, right? Because BGP converges slowly. Now you move back again on R1. So this time in BGP table you are having only one prefix. And see, AS path attribute is there now. And then after, once again try to open this BGP table, and you see atomic aggregate is not there now. Only aggregator is there. Only aggregator is there. Atomic aggregate is not there. Atomic aggregate, if atomic aggregate is not there, it means that it has copied attributes from individual prefixes into aggregate address. But if atomic aggregate is there, which means that attributes were not copied from individual prefixes into your aggregate address. So it will show you atomic aggregate in your BGP table till you use, till you are not using AS set keyword. Once you will start to use AS set keyword, then it will start to copy your attributes from individual prefixes into aggregate address as well. So I hope that you people have understood the uses of AS set keyword. So if you do not put AS set keyword, then of course there will be some possibilities of formation of routing loops. Have you understood it or not? Yes. So this is the uses of AS set, and we are also having some other keywords as well. I'll be discussing all those keywords with you, but before that, do one thing. So in this way you can use summary only and AS set keywords, and these are the uses of all these keywords. Then after it, you are also having suppress map over here. You are also having suppress map. What is happening actually, like on R5, when you configure this aggregate address, show IP BGP, you can check it out. It has suppressed all of them which were coming into this aggregate address. It has suppressed all those prefixes which were coming into this aggregate address. Is not it? In same manner, if you move on R6, here also it has suppressed all prefixes which are coming into this summary address, into this aggregate address. It has suppressed all of them. Sometimes what happens that due to load balancing purpose or load sharing purpose, or due to some requirements, you will not require to suppress all those prefixes which are coming into that aggregate address. You will require to suppress some of them, some of the prefixes into your aggregate address. Like for an example, this time what I want that I want to suppress, like on R5, I want to suppress only 100, 101 and I mean these two prefixes only. I want to suppress 100.0/24, 101.0/24 into this aggregate address, and I want that all others like 102 and 103 should advertised individually along with aggregate address. Or we can also do it on R6 as well. Like on R6, what can we do that for first two prefixes should get suppressed only. Other prefixes should advertise individually along with aggregate address. So for that purpose, you can use suppress map. Like for an example, show IP prefix list. Prefix list is already there. No IP prefix list name was show IP prefix list. There is no prefix list now. Now say IP prefix list Cisco permit 191.168.100.0/23 greater than equal to 24 less than equal to 24. Create one route map over here. Route map name was let's say it is suppress map permit match IP address prefix list was simple. And this time you will not apply it for neighbor. That is why it is not necessary to allow all others. If you are applying this route map for a particular neighbor, then definitely for their incoming updates, then definitely you have to allow all others as well. But this time you are not going to apply this route map for any neighbor. You will be using this route map just to, along with aggregation actually. That is why you are not allowed to permit all others, or you are not allowed, not allowed actually, you are not required actually. You are not required to create any other statement of the route map, right? So now what will you do actually? Router BGP 65500 as you configure aggregate address command over there, and then after you said a set, and then after a set you can also say suppress map, and then your route map name. Route map name I took suppress underscore map, enter. So this time it will suppress only those prefixes into this aggregate address which were permitted in your route map. So in route map you permitted only first two prefixes 100 and 101 only. So you see this time do show IP BGP table, check BGP table of R6. See 100.0 has been suppressed as, and 101 has also suppressed. Has it suppressed 102 or 103? No. So now these prefixes will be advertised by R6 individually. You see, along with the summary address. Aggregate address is also coming from R6, but along with that aggregate address it is also receiving 102 and 103 individually, because you didn't suppress them in your aggregate address. Have you understood it or not? So this is the uses of suppress map. So in suppress map you will specify, you will permit all those prefixes to whom you wanna suppress. Are you getting the meaning by suppress? Do you understand the meaning by suppress? Suppress is not leak map. In leak map you were telling that which prefixes will be advertised individually. Yeah. Here you are telling which prefixes which will be part of aggregate address, and all others will automatically advertised individually. So it is just reverse to the leak map. So in suppress map you are simply specifying that only these prefixes will get suppressed into your aggregate address. Understood? Good. Let's move back again on R6, and you can see now that for this aggregate address its best path is via R5, but these two prefixes are coming individually from R6 only. So based on longest prefix match, traffic for these two last prefixes will go via R6, and in case if R6 goes down, then the whole traffic will go via R5. And even R5 goes down, then also whole traffic will go via R6. So basically suppress map will be used just to manipulate path selection. So let's move back again on R6 and fine. Once again, it will suppress all of them. It means R1 will receive only and only aggregate address. Fine. Let's do leak map now. But here in BGP, we do not call it leak map. Here we will call it unsuppressed map. We will call it unsuppressed map. So in BGP, unsuppressed map is same as leak map in ESERP. So in suppressed map, you were specifying that which prefixes should get suppressed. But in unsuppressed map, you will specify that which prefixes should not
Unsuppressed.
should not suppressed. Have you understood it or not? So unsuppressed map is same as leak map. But remember that unsuppressed map can be configured. Unsuppressed map can be configured only on that router where you have configured aggregation. Same as leak map was, it was possible to configure leak map only on that router where you configuring that summary address. Because along with summary address only you could define leak map. In same manner, in BGP also, unsuppressed map can be configured only on that router where you have configured aggregation. So let's say that for 103 only, 103, I wanna see that R1, for R1 its best path should be via R6. So from R6 we can advertise this 103.0 individually on /24 itself. From R6 only, right? So let's move back again on R6. First of all, create one prefix list. No IP prefix list, it was Cisco. So IP prefix list, no prefix list, IP prefix list, CCIE permit 192.168.103.0/. Now create one route map with name of unsup permit 10. Match IP address prefix list name is what? So it will start to advertise your prefix individually, which is permitted inside this prefix list. Right? Now apply it. Till now you have just created this route map, right? Now finally apply it. And if you are going to apply unsuppressed map, it will not be configured along with your aggregate address command. This time it will be applied for neighbor actually. Like on R6 you can say router BGP 65500 neighbor 150.1.1 unsuppressed map. This is not route map. That is why I didn't permitted all others. Hello. You are not calling, you are not applying route map for this neighbor. You are applying what? Unsuppressed map. So what does it mean? That whenever it will advertise any prefix, any update towards this neighbor, then it will advertise this prefix individually. So unsuppressed map and then it's route map name. You see, it was unsup. In which there is no direction, route. Hello. Because the meaning of unsuppressed map that it will advertise this prefix individually, right? So there is no direction for this command because this is not route map. This is unsuppressed map. Move back again on R1 now. Clear IP BGP star. If you move back again on R6 you won't be able to see anything. Here, if you look at its BGP table, it will show you that okay, all of them have suppressed. But whenever it will advertise prefixes, it will advertise an update towards that neighbor. It will advertise this 103 individually, right? So this unsuppressed map is same as leak map. So I hope that you people have also understood the uses of unsuppressed map. And again, the uses of unsuppressed map will be just to manipulate path selection in BGP. Like previously R1 was receiving only and only aggregate address, and for that aggregate address its best path was via R5. But I wanted that R1 should transmit traffic for 103 subnet via R6. So from R6 I advertise this 103.0 individually on /24. So based on longest prefix mesh for this prefix, it will transmit its data in the direction of R6 only. Tell me. So in this way you can use unsuppressed map. Fine. Move back again on R6. Once again it is receiving only and only. Fine. If you want to modify attributes, of your aggregate address, then we are having attribute map. If you want to modify attributes of your aggregate address, then we are having attribute map. Like for an example, I want to define its best path via R6. So via R5 I can define its origin code as what? Question mark. So you do one thing, move back again on R5 and create one route map. Name is with the name of attribute map. So attrib commit 10, match all is by default there. Simply say set origin is what? Incomplete. That's it. Just come outside. Router BGP 65500. You configured here aggregate address is set, and then after you can say attribute map, and then your route map name. It was simple. Check is on BGP table now. For this summary address, its attribute, its origin code is now question mark. That is why for R1 its best path will become via so this is the uses of attribute map, just to modify the attributes of aggregate address. In same manner you are also having advertise map. In same manner you are also having advertise map. You know what happens actually? Like for an example, this is R1 and this is R2. This is ISP1, let's say, and this is what? ISP. R1 is receiving some prefixes from ISP1 like 10.1.1.0/24, 2.0/24, 3.0/24. R1 is also receiving some prefixes coming from ISP2 4.0/24, 5.0/24, 6.0/24, 7.0/24, right? And they are coming individually from ISP1 as well as from ISP2. It was receiving different prefixes from both ISPs now. And then R1 decided to aggregate them and advertise them towards R2 in a single prefix. So on R1 you will configure aggregation. So because this time it is receiving these prefixes coming from two different ISPs with different attributes. Of course, AS path attribute will be different. It's not it. So what will happen now, that whenever on R1 you will configure aggregate address, it will copy AS path attribute coming from ISP1 as well as ISP2 onto your aggregate address. Are you getting my point? By default in aggregate address it will copy attributes coming from ISP1 as well as ISP2. But let's say that you wanted to copy attributes of all those prefixes into your aggregate address which were coming from ISP1 only, not from ISP2. In that case you will use advertise map. So basically with using advertise map you will tell to your BGP that from these prefixes only you have to copy attributes into your aggregate address. From these prefixes only you have to copy attributes into aggregate address. Let me prove it actually. What will I do now? Let me turn on link 1 as well. Let me shut down this R6. R6 will be receiving prefixes coming from R5 only now. Fine. Then move on a sprint as well. No connectivity in between sprint and BT now. Advertise some prefixes from sprint and also advertise some prefixes from BT. From sprint, create some loopbacks. Two dot 0, 3.0, router BGP 21545 network, then on BT as well. Fine. Router BGP. Move on R5 now. It is receiving prefixes coming from two different ASs. It will advertise them towards R1 individually. Let's say I want to configure aggregation now. So you can configure it on R5. See, let's configure it. Router BGP aggregate address 50.1.0.0 245 252 or 248, and then say summary, and then you can say do show IP BGP. All of them have suppressed into this aggregate address, and it have copied C214545 as well as 355. I mean from all prefixes it have copied AS path attribute, right? And then it will advertise it in the direction of R1 now. So IP BGP 50.1.1.0. See, aggregated by this. Fine. Now in this aggregate address I just wanted to have, let's say I just wanted to have only 35500, not 21545. So for that purpose, I can use advertise map in this way. First of all, IP prefix list test permit 50.1.4.0 / 22 greater than equal to 24 less than equal to 24. I mean, I wanted to copy attributes from these prefixes only, right? Then create one route map with the name of attribute for attribute map permit 10. Sorry. I mean, you can take any name, doesn't matter. Route map, advert, permit 10. Match IP address prefix list name was And then router BGP 65500. You configure aggregate address here. Yes, set, and then say advertise map. Name is what? Advert. Simple. Do show IP BGP. This is your summary address, but this time in this aggregate address you can find AS35500. So it will copy attributes from those prefixes only that you called in your advertise map. Hello. So again you are using it just to modify your attributes, but it's a different thing, right? You cannot achieve this task with using attribute map, because with using attribute map you cannot perform prependation, you cannot remove any AS. You can change its local preference, origin code, something like that. So I hope that you people have understood it now. Is there any problem? Sure. So in this way you can use advertise map. So I have covered now all available maps in BGP along with aggregate address. Route map you can apply it by yourself, right? Along with aggregate address you can also call route map. Even you can see here that I have covered all these components. After AS set, see, you are having like advertise map, attribute map, route maps, summary only, suppress map, and suppress map is not there because it will be configured per neighbor basis. So we have covered all these options now available in BGP.
Thank you so much, guys, for watching my video. So we'll be coming back with few more videos of the BGP. Please subscribe my channel. That's @ARC_tutorial. Thank you so much, guys. See you in next video.